Alex Jones.
What we are looking at is good and evil, right and wrong.
A new world order.
A new world order.
They have to tie our hands. They have to suppress us because we carry the truth, the light in the dark of the night, and they can't suppress us. All we have to do is persevere, like George Washington, losing almost every battle, but in the end, winning the war. Resistance is victory. Nothing can stop you. As long as you know that plowing forward's the answer. Because submission is unto death. It's like death. Laura Loomer is the person that created hashtag Stop the Bias that President Trump now says he's getting behind. And we're turning the tide, forcing a debate on this, forcing out the lobbyists in D.C. They're trying to lie to the president and others. And Laura Loomer was right there with me, taking over that committee hearing meeting and having that stupid congressman like Porky Pig do his auctioneering. Remember that? The media cut her audio out and only played that. But here's what the woman who launched the Stop the Bias movement, who trends #1 on Twitter routinely, steadfastly, she kept fighting, and here she is, back on September 5th, 2018, launching this movement.
Mr. Dorsey, you are lying about censoring conservatives. You are caught on tape by Project Veritas, shadow banning people. You are censoring people. You censored me. You censored Milo. You censored Chuck Johnson, James O'Keefe. You even censored President Trump when one of your employees deleted his account for a few minutes. You are censoring conservatives, and I'm asking you, President Donald Trump, help us. Please help us, Mr. President, before it is too late, because Jack Dorsey is trying to influence the election, to sway the election so that the Democrats can steal the election. That is why he is censoring and shadow banning conservatives. You are a liar, Jack Dorsey. You are a liar, Jack Dorsey. You unverified me on November 15th, 2017.
Officer, will you escort this young lady out?
From the front lines.
We are conservative Americans, not Russian bots, Jack Dorsey. Stop the bias.
So from the wilderness to the front lines, Laura Loomer,
Stop censoring.
right there. And then I'm going to get Laura's take on this and where she's going with this now and all the exploits she's already engaged in because of her will to take action. Then I want to give you the worst news yet on censorship. The next level has begun globally, the banning of URLs. Not in China. Not in China. But in the United States and in Europe and in New Zealand. Wait till you hear who they just banned. Story just went live on Infowars.com, but I'll get to it in a moment. Laura Loomer, continue now with your charting history here as a trailblazer, being laughed at the time, trending on Twitter. They all laughed at you. Ha, ha, ha. They laughed at all the other events as if their mockery did anything, and now the president and Congress are getting ready to take action with the hashtag you created.
Yeah, it's great, and look, I continue to still be ostracized, and a lot of people keep distance from me because the left has branded me, right, as this kind of like neo-Nazi white supremacist radical, even though my ideas are pretty mainstream. But, I'm going to keep on fighting. These people have tried to destroy my livelihood. They've banned me on PayPal, but we have to keep fighting, and they want you to despair, and they want to break your spirit, and they want to break you down, and at times it gets hard. But I just remember, I have a purpose on this planet. I have the gift, and it's my duty, really, to share my gift and to carry out my purpose and try to raise awareness about this and to enact change. And I'm here in California. I am tracking these people. I am keeping tabs on these executives. I have a network of investigators that I have deployed across the country to keep tabs on these people. And, I got my career started at Project Veritas, and you've shown a lot of my undercover work from my time at Veritas, and I'm planning on going undercover again. So stay tuned, because I'm taking it to the next level, and then I'm going to use my skill set from being undercover to expose more of this evil that we're seeing and this injustice that's taking place. But we all have to stick together. And, a lot of people have thrown you under the bus, Alex, but, I think you're a goddamn hero, and I plan on standing with you and InfoWars and all the people who have been banned in silence. So just know.
Well, we stand with you as well. But Laura, you're a libertarian conservative. You're Jewish. You're pro-Israel. When they call you a white supremacist in national news, it shows that they are the joke. They're the ones that are Soros-funded, a literal Nazi collaborator.
Yeah.
They're now calling Joe Rogan for having myself and other people on a far-right person that it supports Richard Spencer. Joe is very liberal socially. That is a total lie. And I'm not going to get into his private life, but Joe is not a racist. And I've had my problems with Joe, but he's now going up against the censorship, and I appreciate that. We're going to be hanging out this weekend together and having dinner. But, I mean, it's just the idea to call him a white supremacist.
On the podcast. Tell him to have me on. He won't have me on, but he needs to have me on. I don't know what his problem is, but he's always talking about me. And, he's called me a crazy lunatic on his show, and I am far from a crazy lunatic. I am ahead of the curve. I am always breaking stories before anybody else.
I know. Joe was kind of getting off the reservation, and he's kind of woken up now. Because I think, I'm not going to speak for Joe. He's just trying to be an entertainer and live his own life, and I get that, but I'm glad I will definitely say you should have Laura Loomer on. One thing Joe hates is being told who he should have on, but, you're absolutely right, Laura. He should have you on. That's a smart interview. Hell, the president just tweeted you and said he's going to, get behind and hashtag stop the bias. How angry, Laura, is Twitter that since they banned you, you're bigger than ever, like Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. It's the same with you. I think they're pretty pissed. And, Jack Dorsey keeps getting asked about me in interviews. The Rolling Stone actually sat down with him and they asked him about me. And he had no other choice but to say that he respects me and he thinks I'm like punk rock and that he thinks that protest is cool and that he admires my drive.
Then why the hell you didn't do anything to get banned?
Right, exactly.
Tell them what they claim you did.
Well, they claim that I committed hate speech because I said that Ilhan Omar was anti-Jewish and pro-Sharia. And if you recall...
And by the way, you said that before anybody had it, and she also is for pro-cutting genitals off. So that's pretty feminist to not want your genitals cut off, right?
Right, and like I said, I was the first to really start talking about Ilhan. I'm the only person on this planet who confronted her to her face, along with Rashida Tlaib, about their Jew hatred and support for Hamas. Right.
So when she was running, you went and covered her as a reporter. We're very polite, but they called you a stalker in the media.
Yeah, no, exactly. And people didn't want to listen, but now everybody wants to jump on the, oh my God, Ilhan's a jihadist train, but they should have really been paying attention to the reports that, I was reporting, that you were reporting on, and they could have avoided this whole entire situation. But now we have a woman. Did you see this? Did you see that Ilhan Omar last year, she met with Erdogan, okay, we're talking about Muslim Brotherhood Central. She's backed by CARE.
And let's be clear. Erdogan said we're going to send New Zealanders and people back in massive body bags, as if New Zealand is all guilty for what happened. That's how sick that is.
Erdogan called for a global Islamic caliphate. He called for global Islamic domination. And here Ilhan Omar is meeting with him. Look, I was the first person to have the balls to say on the ground in Minnesota, Ilhan Omar is a Muslim Brotherhood operative. He is backed and endorsed by CARE. CARE is essentially Hamas in America. And this woman is now on our Foreign Affairs Committee. God only knows what type of classified information she's receiving. She supports men who were accused of joining ISIS. She's meeting with bloodthirsty Islamic dictators in the world. I mean, what kind of information is she giving to these jihadists? Right? I mean, we could potentially have 9/11 2.0.
No, I agree. And you could tell her IQ is like 75. I mean, she can't stop spewing her hate. She is
Well, she's Somali. And I mean, that also goes back to, this whole concept of inbreeding and incest as well. But, there's a lot of IQ politics and scientific research to explain why she is the way she is. But, I mean, we could talk about that for hours.
Well, I just know she's a raging lunatic. And she just met with Erdogan, who said he's going to Islamify the world. We'll all submit by the sword, and he wants to kill everybody in New Zealand now. And the whole leftist media covers it up. Laura Loomer, changing the world, straight ahead on Alex Jones, InfoWars.